Hey there, welcome to day 12 of our free 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge, December 2021. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And yesterday we started looking at our SOAP framework with respect to our finances, the area of finances in our life. We picked an idea that we were going to talk about, or one aspect of our finances that we wanted to dig deeper into and apply the SOAP framework to. And we used a journalistic framework, who, what, where, when, why, and how to describe our current situation, and then also to describe our desired situation. I hope you've done that. If you haven't, stop this, run back, do it quickly, or just sit and do it quickly in your head, pause this, and then come back and listen to today's lesson. Because today we're going to talk about now the O in our SOAP framework, which stands for options. What are our options? What are our financial options? What could we possibly do to get from where we are to where we want to go? Now, I identified my financial situation as I want an additional $2,000 for Christmas. So between now and Christmas, I want to come up with, and probably before Christmas, $2,000 more dollars. So I need to brainstorm. Brainstorming is our tool today. Different options of how I can get my hands on or access to $2,000 to make this Christmas the best Christmas ever. Now, I like to use the 5-way strategy and say, well, why do I want to make this Christmas awesome? I put on my Christmas sweatshirt with Snoopy on it today. 'Tis the season, to get me more in the Christmas spirit. One of the biggest reasons I want to have that money available for this Christmas is last Christmas stunk. 2019 stunk because I was sick and I had COVID. 2020 stunk because nobody was able to get together and do things because of COVID. And so this year, I want to make up for the past two really cruddy, sad, mopey Christmases that I have experienced and get my joy and my love of this season and the holiday back again. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to brainstorm. Now, there's lots of different ways of brainstorming and lots of different things I can brainstorm to come up with $2,000. Whatever your current situation is and your desired situation, there's a gap created. So when we're brainstorming, we're just asking ourselves, what are some possible ways and even impossible ways, improbable ways that we could come up with solutions to that, or options, possibilities to start filling that gap. So what are some of the ways I could do that? I say, and I've been pushing, just come up with 10 ideas, because we want to get over that hump of this either or thinking. Either I do this or that, and those are our only two options. So often we create this false sense of urgency for ourselves by thinking that we have limited options, limited possibilities in any decision making or situation or quandary in our life. And that's just not true. There's always a gazillion. I like a gazillion. I have granddaughters and I like to think outside the box. There's always infinite possible ways of dealing with any situation. So brainstorming, if you don't know what brainstorming is, I guess I should have looked up the definition and shared that again, because I haven't done that for a while. I'm to the point where I know my granddaughter was learning brainstorming in kindergarten. So if they're teaching it in school and it's that mainstream, I like to think everybody knows what it is. But it's just the process of throwing out ideas that could fill in that gap, any which way crazy ideas that you want. Sometimes the crazier the better. There's a couple rules for brainstorming. They are: get everybody involved. Now, if you're just brainstorming by yourself, get your whole self involved. Spend a few minutes really coming up with different ideas. Don't limit yourself to just, I'm only going to brainstorm for this 5 minutes and then I'm never going to think about this again. Just ask yourself the question and keep it in the back of your mind. And you'd be surprised as you're going about your day doing other things. Cool ideas will just pop into your mind. Quick, write them down so you don't lose them. But don't limit yourself to one session. Don't judge. Don't criticize. Don't edit any of your ideas. Just write them down, and then you can look at them and think at them later. That's what we'll do tomorrow when we look at the action and how do we decide among these alternatives. That's what the A is all about. But today, it's just coming up with as creatively as possible and getting as many ideas as we possibly can to say, well, how am I going to fill that gap? For me, the gap is $2,000. So what are some of the possible ways I could do that? I say go for 20. Don't just go for 10. I used to tell people go for 100 and everybody freaked out. So then I made it 10, which I think is too few, but that's just my opinion. Maybe 10 is plenty. And you know that anytime you come up with 10 ideas to fill that gap, you're going to have one or for sure that you can make and take action on right away. So There's lots of different strategies and lots of different ways to brainstorm. It's kind of like meditating for me. I say keep it simple as possible, or do what works for you. So find your favorite way to brainstorm. Maybe it's like me, you just take a piece of paper, you count to 20, and then you just keep writing down ideas till you get to 20. Or maybe you use brain writing, or maybe you use mind mapping, or maybe you use rapid ideation. You set a timer, which I didn't set today, and you say, okay, for the next 3 minutes or the next 5 minutes, I'm going to come up with as many ideas as I possibly can to fill that financial options gap, to fill that financial gap from where I am to where I want to be. This is, what is this? I think this is December of 2020, actually, where I did the financial option one. And so my brainstorming, I don't remember what let's go back and see what the problem was, or the financial thing I was doing was. What was my story? Oh, I wanted $5K a month for a challenge summit, which I didn't do, by the way. If I'm looking back on this, I'm like, oh, that was a good idea, but I never did do a challenge summit in 2021. I went a different direction with that. But to brainstorm that, here's some of the ideas I had. Sell a challenge mastermind, do a challenge workshop, challenge coaching, since it was related to challenges, challenge one-on-one coaching biz on change and challenge, sell program to corporations on change management, challenge course, pivot for COVID webinar, sell a 30-day challenge transformation, 11 challenge products, etc. And so what we're going to do as our action item today, we're going to brainstorm today. We want to come up with as many ways as we possibly can, as far-fetched or crazy. Maybe you're going to sell plasma. I remember doing that in college. Maybe you're going to sell something that you own. Maybe you could, whatever it is, to fill that gap. Brainstorm crazy things. Maybe you're going to, I don't know, get some kind of a side gig or something. But brainstorm those things and then share in the comments below 3 of your options. Any 3 that you want to share, just share 3. And I want you to share 3 for a very specific reason, which we will discuss tomorrow. So brainstorm 20, 10 for sure, possible ways to fill that cap, share 3, and I will be with you tomorrow. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Bye. Get brainstorming.